You sit in the stillness, and for a moment the world feels muted. No footsteps, no voices, no distractions, just you and the quiet. And in that quiet, something begins to speak. Silence has a voice that does not shout, a voice that does not demand. It whispers in spaces between thoughts. It lingers in the breath you hold, when words are too heavy to carry. And if you dare to listen, it becomes louder than any sound you have ever known. You've spent years surrounded by noise, people's opinions, expectations, endless demands. The world is filled with voices pulling you in every direction. But silence is different. Silence pulls you inward. It asks no questions. It simply waits until you are ready to hear. Voice of silence is not empty. It is full of lessons, full of strength, full of clarity. It teaches you what words cannot. It shows you that truth is not always spoken. Sometimes it is felt, in the spaces where nothing is said. Well, think of the forest at dawn. No human word, yet every leaf trembles with meaning. The rustle of branches, the call of distant birds, the hush before the light arrives. That is silence speaking, not with noise, but with presence. And when your heart is broken, silence becomes even more powerful. It wraps around you like a cloak, neither comforting nor cruel. It just is. And in that presence, you find the strength to breathe again, when you thought you could not. Silence teaches patience. It tells you that healing does not happen in a single sunrise. It is the long night, the pause between seasons, the quiet labor of roots beneath the soil. In silence, you discover that strength is not in rushing forward, but in enduring the weight. And yet, silence is not only about endurance, it is also about revelation. In the absence of noise, you begin to hear the softest truths of your soul, the desires you buried, the fears you denied, the courage you forgot you had. Silence does not hide these truths, it reveals them. It opens a mirror inside you, and sometimes what you see is difficult, painful, even frightening. But within that reflection lies your power. The strength you thought you had lost has been waiting quietly all along. This is the paradox of silence. It feels empty, yet it is overflowing. It feels weak, yet it is the foundation of your greatest strength. And when you finally learn to listen, you realize that silence was never the absence of sound. It was the presence of truth. You may wonder why silence matters so deeply, why it holds a voice of its own. It is because silence sharpens your vision. It strips away the noise that blinds you and reveals clarity you could not find in the chaos. What once felt like emptiness becomes the very place where truth awakens. In silence, you begin to notice what was always there, the breath you take without thought, the beating of your own heart, the small details that noise had buried. Silence is not absence, it is presence. It is life itself reminding you that meaning does not need to shout. It waits quietly for you to see. Silence teaches humility. It shows you that you do not control everything, that the world moves on its own rhythm, that not all questions demand immediate answers. In silence, you learn to let go, to trust the unknown, to accept that patience is strength. There are moments when silence feels unbearable, when memories return like shadows, when loneliness stretches endlessly, when every second feels heavier than the last. But it is in those moments that silence is shaping you. It is chiseling away illusions and carving out the space where resilience will grow. Silence reveals what noise conceals, the wounds you carry, the fears you hide, the desires you silence in yourself. It does not let you run forever. It confronts you gently, showing you what you tried to ignore. And in that confrontation lies the beginning of healing. Many try to escape silence. They drown themselves in distractions, in constant movement, in endless sound. But silence waits. It does not chase you. It does not beg. It stands in the shadows until the day you turn toward it and realize it was never an enemy, but a teacher. Silence is where strength is born. Not the loud strength that boasts, but the quiet strength that endures. The kind of strength that does not need recognition, because it is already unshakable. This strength grows in stillness, in the quiet choices no one sees, in the silent perseverance that carries you through the storm. Silence holds wisdom older than words. It is the wisdom of the stars that move without sound, the wisdom of rivers that carve valleys over centuries, the wisdom of seeds that split the earth in silence to reach the light. This is the wisdom you carry too, waiting in the quiet depths of your soul. In silence, you begin to rewrite your story, not with noise, not with desperation, but with steady, deliberate steps. The pages may tremble, but they are filled with honesty, and that honesty gives your story weight, meaning, and beauty. This is the hidden gift of silence. It does not give easy answers. It gives you something greater, the space to face yourself, to discover your strength, to hear the voice that has always been within you. And so, silence reveals itself not as weakness, but as a passage. It does not end your journey. It reshapes it. What once blinded you with comfort now sharpens you with clarity. Through silence, you gain what noise could never offer, the ability to see beyond appearances, to endure, and to understand the unseen battles of others. Every scar you carry has its own silence. Not all scars scream with pain. Some whisper with wisdom. They remind you that love is fragile, but also eternal, that nothing you give from the heart is wasted. Even if the moment has passed, the transformation remains alive within you. You may think your brokenness has made you less, but silence shows you another truth. A vessel with cracks allows more light to enter. The fractures you carry are not signs of weakness. They are openings, openings for wisdom, for compassion, for depth. In silence, you are asked questions you once feared. Who are you when the noise is gone? What remains when the illusions fade? What kind of life will you choose to build from the quiet ashes of the past? These questions are not meant to be answered quickly. Their gift is that they slow you down, they make you pause, they invite you into the unknown. And it is in that unknown that growth waits. Out of silence, new beginnings emerge. Out of stillness, your voice rises. Out of despair, hope is reborn. Imagine standing before a door you never wished to open. Behind you lies the world you knew. Ahead, only shadows. Silence pushes you through, and step by step, those shadows give way to light. Silence turns tears into rivers of strength. It transforms endless nights into dawns filled with resilience. It rewrites tragedy into survival. And in its voice, you realize something profound. You are not the same as before. You are more. One day you will look back and see not only the weight of silence, but the transformation it carried. You will recognize that the person who entered the stillness is not the one who emerged from it. And though the wound may remain as memory, it will no longer chain you. It will guide you. The voice of silence writes verses you never asked for, but verses you needed. It carves truths into your soul that will not fade. And when you share those truths, through kindness, through courage, through love, you become part of a greater poem. A poem that lights the path for others walking in their own quiet darkness. So listen, what has your silence revealed to you? What strength has grown in your quiet moments? What wisdom waits in your stillness? Your answer may be the very line someone else needs to continue their own story. This is not the end. The poem does not close with silence. It opens into healing. Follow into the next chapter, where we explore the strength hidden in your scars. Because silence is not emptiness. It is the beginning of everything that endures.